Welcome to my channel. I'm basketball lover Dr. NBA. Today, I've got an interesting story to share with you. Of all the basketball leagues in the world, the NBA is the highest level. People of all races have been working hard to reach that peak, or to survive in that environment, and they strive to become a legend. Although only a fraction of the whole, Asians are a part of the league. However, their performance and physical ability compared to other players are below average, and their difficulty to adapt to the Western culture and language results in them getting released from the NBA quickly and usually ends up playing in a different league. However, these two individuals are different. On the left, with an overwhelming height and soft touch shooting ability, was the top NBA center during this time and broke the stereotype of Asians can't succeed in the NBA. On the right, an NBA player who debuted in 2010, the topic of today's video, a player who's quite impressive. And for a while, basketball fans all around the world praised him, and even the President of the United States, Obama, praised him for his athletic performance. Thanks to them, many Asians were given hope that Asian guards can also survive in the NBA. However, behind this, there were many failures and efforts to overcome them. The player's name is Jeremy Lin, and back then, his team won the 18-19 season championship, and he marked the all-time high of his career. With a mediocre height of 6'3", we will now talk about how he rose to his position. In 1977, a man decided to immigrate from Taiwan to America, along with his wife to finish his PhD in computer science. They were both pure Asians, and even before immigrating, the man was a huge fan of the NBA. And after completing graduate school, he moved to California and went to watch each game. He studied the dribbles, shooting, and the movements of the players, like he did for an exam, and dreamt of raising his son into a professional basketball player. Later, he had 3 sons, and they all started playing basketball because of their father's wish. Jeremy Lin, the second oldest son born in 1988, was said to be the best of them. Not only did Lin like basketball, but just like his father, he was very intelligent and attended Stanford University's prestigious comprehensive high school, Palo Alto High School, with his remarkable grades. Since he was young, he was very hardworking and did well in both basketball and academics. He maintained a GPA of 4.2 and even became the captain of his basketball team. Furthermore, during the finals of the high school basketball league in California, he carried his team and won the championship. His stats were an outstanding average of 15 points, 7 assists, and 5 steals, and his team's record was 32 wins and only a single loss. As both an athlete and a student, Jeremy Lin showed great performance, and immediately after graduation he applied to Stanford University and UCLA, which are known as some of the best Division I universities. Unfortunately, both the universities gave bad news. He was rejected as a 4-year scholarship student athlete, and the scouters saw Lin as a regular bench player. He wished to run as a starter in the NCAA First Division and sent his resume and a video compilation of his plays, but they all said they couldn't guarantee him a starter position and scholarship. But these responses were kind of obvious. A height of 6'3" was average for a basketball player. The stereotype that Asians are only academically advanced, and the fact that the game Lin had won was a second division game, not a first, were the main reasons why he got such responses. Therefore, the scouters underestimated Lin, and according to a famous sports media outlet, he ranked at only 426th place of all the high school athletes in the country. While still searching for a prestigious Division I university, he came across Harvard University and was offered a chance to play for them. However, they did not offer any scholarships, and his SAT scores had to be in the top percentile for him to attend their institution. Fortunately, Lin managed to score 2,140 in the SATs, and although he scored 100 less than the average Harvard students, this gap was filled in with him being a student athlete and was finally accepted to the university. As he wished, he was able to run as a Division I player, but the thing with Harvard was that in terms of basketball, it wasn't exactly the best university. In fact, it was the weakest. In his senior year of university, he made continuous efforts to improve as a guard to become successful as an NBA player. As a result, he became a key prospect for bringing wins to his team from games played against prestigious universities in other conferences. On top of that, he was chosen as one of the top 5 players in the conference, where 8 universities, including Harvard, belong. With an average of 16.4 points, 4.5 assists, 2.4 steals, and a 3.1 GPA in economics, he graduated with an outstanding grade and immediately joined the 2010 NBA draft. Only 60 players can be picked in the draft, and Jeremy Lin was not drafted by any teams. With his standard physique, being a Harvard graduate, a university that isn't recognized in terms of basketball, and his participation in a conference with universities similar to Harvard had been no attraction to the NBA scouters. However, even during these hard times, Lin did not budge because, since he was young, he lived by the quote, "Focus on the solution, not the problem," advice he grew up taking from his father. Besides, he was confident in his potential, seeing that he outplayed all the high-ranking universities in the past and participated in the Summer League. Unknown or new players usually participate in the Summer League in order to appeal their abilities to the scouters. So even if they don't get picked in the draft, and if they're able to truly show their potential, the door to becoming an NBA player was open. Considering this is his last chance, Lin gave it his all and matched up with the first pick player John Wall and showed overwhelming offense and defense performance. Many teams showed interest in Lin after watching that game and offered entry to their organization, located in California, his hometown. He signed with the Golden State Warriors. He was always looking for opportunities, while being a part of infamous institutions, and when the opportunity came, he made sure to take it, and achieved his long dream of becoming an NBA player. Starting the 10-11 season, Lin was the backup player for second-year prospect Stephen Curry. During this time, the Warriors was a rather weak team that allowed Lin to have more playtime, and he just had to make good use of that opportunity. However, during the third opening game, he made 5 fouls in a matter of 16 minutes and recorded only 20% shot success rate, making him sit on the bench on the fourth game. After that, he was only put on the court when the win or loss of the team was decided, but even then he didn't show great performance. So after the end of the season on December 9th, 2011, he was waived by the team. Thankfully, the Houston Rockets took him in, but only let him play a total of 7 minutes in 2 preseason games, and because he was not better than the guards in the team, they waived him. Lin stated that he was extremely shocked when he was abandoned twice in a row, but all he could do was endure it. Caused by the salary restriction of the players, the workers had to settle the potential NBA strike, and on December 25th, a late 11-12 season began. And just in time, Lin was called by the New York Knicks on December 27th. And because they didn't have a point guard to carry the ball, this was a huge opportunity for Lin. Contrary to his expectations, during the 22 opening games, Lin served as pretty much a bench player and even went so far as to be downgraded to the lower G League, which showed how low he ranked in the team. However, Lin assured himself that one day he would be assigned to the position of the point guard, and to prepare for that, he trained harder than anyone in his team. As soon as he became a G League player, he scored 28 points, 12 assists, and 11 rebounds in his first game, showing outstanding performance. Impressed by this, the head coach of the Knicks started playing him on the court. But on February 4th, during their game against the New Jersey Nets, a major misfortune took place. At the time, the main point guards were suffering from injuries and debilitation, and their position was played by other players from different positions. But their poor ability to pass and handle the ball made their performance worse, so the head coach decided to trust Lin as the point guard. Lin, who was given command of the team at that point, coordinated the movement of the ball and his teammates for a smooth attack, and his effort was so great that the fans and commentators could not take their eyes off of him. He caught up with a 10-point deficit in the second quarter and turned the game into the team's victory, and on this day, Lin recorded 25 points and 7 assists, and after this, he became a starter of the team. But in the first game, the team's core player Carmelo Anthony was injured in the first 5 minutes, and the fans and team members became anxious. However, Lin, who didn't let this disturb him, scored 28 points and 8 assists, bringing his team a second win. The fans were all in astonishment, and scoring 23 points and 10 assists, he brought a third win to his team, and starting from this point, his ability was proven. Furthermore, during the game against superstar Kobe Bryant, he scored 38 points, recorded higher than Kobe, who scored 34 points and won the game. Kobe didn't quite know who Lin was before the game, but in an interview he gave Lin credit for his play. In the next game, he scored 20 points and 8 assists and brought his team their 5th win. And due to this, Jeremy Lin became the highest scorer in the first 5 games in NBA history. Whenever he showed phenomenal play, people coined the term insanity with his first name Lin, and invented and shouted the word Linsanity. Jeremy Lin's three-pointer just before the end of the game against the Raptors drove worldwide NBA fans into a global craze of Linsanity. This point guard, marking the most sensational rise in NBA history, became the second Asian star following Yao Ming. The reason why Lin was able to show great performance was mainly due to his athletic ability, and his speed was the best in the NBA. He outshined the African American superstar guards, who were generally known to be very swift, and broke through the defense with instant acceleration, then took a shot or passed the ball into open areas. And plus that, he was not afraid of physical contact while taking the shot, and instead turned that into his own advantage and made other players foul. Even though he had an Asian physique, he adapted to the American culture and diet and trained individually for almost 7 hours per day. Lin possessed athletic abilities as his main weapon. Like other African American players, his basketball IQ and smart passes prompt the birth of Linsanity in February 2012. However, starting March, his performance started dropping. Since Linsanity, the opposing players started pinpointing Lin's weaknesses and attacking them. The main weaknesses were his unstable ball handling, fast yet inflexible dribbles, and inaccurate passes when double-teamed. And on top of that, he tends to score in the paint zone, and his mid-range and three-point shots were unstable. All these disadvantages combined fluctuated his shot success rate and made multiple turnovers. However, that did not mean his value dropped at all. Starting the 12-13 season, he started playing for the Houston Rockets, the team Yao Ming represented. His annual salary at the time was the highest in the team, and it was 10 times higher than before. However, his teamwork with James Harden was not ideal. Both of them had the tendency to play as the ball handler, so their play obviously overlapped, and when Harden scored more offensive points, Lin's position fell from the main player to the bench player. And plus that, not being able to keep his cool during important times and making numerous turnovers. He was traded off to the LA Lakers, and his style and play with the franchise star Kobe Bryant also overlapped and was not compatible. So he once again dropped from being the main player to a bench player. After playing only a year for the Lakers, he was traded to the Charlotte Hornets. And after a year, he was traded again to the Brooklyn Nets, and thankfully, he was able to take charge of the team like he did in the New York Knicks. But that only lasted for a while. He still had a strong tendency to drive through and shoot under the paint zone, and he suffered several major injuries during the post-jump landing process. Due to this, he was only able to participate in 36 games in the 16-17 season, and also suffered a knee injury in the opening game of the following season, making him unable to play for the entire season. Although his career wasn't over, his speed, his biggest strength, decreased immensely, and was traded off to the Atlanta Hawks in the 18-19 season, and played as a bench member, and was traded off once again to the Toronto Raptors during the season. For the remaining regular season, the Raptors gave Lin many opportunities. However, his three-point shot success rate was at 20%, and field goal success rate at 37%, showing the all-time low of his career. And his unstable ball handling and inflexible dribble showed no improvement. As a result, starting the playoffs, he played an average of 4 minutes in the games, and though he plunged to a garbage time player, the Raptors won the championships that year. He became the third Asian player to win the championship ring. Unable to improve his weaknesses that jeopardized the games throughout his careers, he made mistakes in big matches and ended up on the bench as he was when he was a rookie. However, that didn't mean that Lin was a pathetic player. With an Asian physique, he showed performances that exceeded the public's expectations and proved to many Asians that regardless of race, one's athletic ability can be equalized. And although he declined from being a main player, he received the most playing time amongst the bench players and showed that he was just as much of a prospect as the main players and maintained an important position in the team. Furthermore, outside of the court, he had great relationships with all the players, and his easygoing personality is one of the reasons why his long run in the NBA is possible. Though he did receive unfair and racist treatment, he did not let this get to him and solely focused on achieving his dream and becoming an effort-driven individual. As a result, Lin has received just as much attention as any superstars in the league. This is it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more content. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe.